Hello and welcome to Talking Games match preview of West Ham United against Wolverhampton Wanderers on Monday night, 8:15 kick-off. Gonzo, as always, can I get your thoughts on our opponents, Wolves?
Well, Wolves are a very good club. Wolves have done very well when you consider where they've come from. If you measure it against what they achieved last season and what they probably would have hoped to happen this season, I guess Wolves fans would be disappointed, but they shouldn't be because they really have done well. And I don't take back any of the things that I said about them last season, about the way the club has been built, the way the club is clearly run. I still think they do a magnificent job at everything they do. I think their recruitment's good. I still think their manager's good, and they appear to have a strategy when they buy and sell, basically, and that's got to be a good thing as well. So, look, it won't be the season that they wanted, Geo, but they're not going to be relegated, are they? And that still has to be a good thing, bearing in mind they've had the distraction this season as well.
I have to agree with that kind of thing. I think long term there's something substantial there. Their foundations are solid. You look at them, you maybe look at a couple of other clubs in the Premier League who might have been on the run that they were on, or the sort of up and down season they've had. Like Newcastle, I know Newcastle's further down the table, but Crystal Palace, Burnley, you look at them and think, they might get relegated, they don't watch themselves. You've never ever had that sort of vibe with them, with Wolves, and probably Southampton. I put Wolves and Southampton in the same bracket, that their results perhaps haven't been as good as you expected. However, they're alright, they're fine, and long term you'd expect them to improve going forward, and there's not an area for concern. The manager shouldn't really be under pressure, all things given. I think short term, there's a slight disappointment there. I'll get onto that in a second. But I agree with you. I think they're a well-run club. They've still got good players, a good manager, and they're still a club that I don't mind seeing do well. If there was a team to win the FA Cup that wasn't West Ham and I had to pick one, Wolves would be my consideration. They'd be in the top 5 clubs off the top of my head. Them and Newcastle and Everton or Villa, they're probably the 4. I think actually I wouldn't mind seeing that club and that fan base have a little bit of success actually. Now, before we talk more of Wolves, if you wish to become a patron, this is the best time to join up. The start of the month is always the best time. Become a patron. I'm going to put him on the spot. Gonzo, what do you get for becoming a patron?
Oh, you get a big sloppy kiss, basically. That's all you get. But there are 3 tiers of sloppy kissedness as well. So no, look, you get lots of extra content. You're right. There are 4 tiers, of course, but one of them is more of an audio kiss, isn't it? You get to hear the kiss in that. No, this is what you get. You get loads of additional content. You get to support Hammers Chat and help us out, and you get lots of exclusive stuff. You get early entry into competitions, and you get prizes, which can't be discounted.
From £3.60 per month, if you wish to support the channel, link is in the description below and the pinned comment of this video. Go to patreon.com/hammerschat if you wish to help the channel out. Massively appreciated. Right, Gonzo, have you been disappointed with them? We spoke about the longevity of Wolves, if you like, and how this season we shouldn't be too disappointed. But I'm not going to lie, they're my most disappointing team of the season.
I've been delighted with everyone that finishes below us, mate, to be honest with you. It's allowed us to creep up there. The last thing we needed this season was Wolves doing what they did last season. Look, they've lost their main man. I say main man. I think the sign of a good team is if you've got a main man in every area, and they do, in defence, in midfield and in attack. But they've lost their main attacker, they've lost their main goal scorer. And I just think that's hit them really hard.
Which one? Which one? Because they've lost both.
Jimenez.
Yeah, and Jota as well to some extent.
Yeah, I was going to get on to. I classed him more as a wide player, if you like. But I thought they were going to cope with that Jota one, actually. I think they could have ridden that out. And I thought they would maybe cover the Doherty one. Maybe we'll get onto that in a second. Because I thought Podence and Neto and people like that would probably cover for Jota. But I think with Jimenez going as well, it's just too much for an attack, really. So I do think it's understandable, and I just think they've been spread a little bit too thin, really.
Yeah, I think their recruitment's been up and down. I like what they're trying to do. They're buying young players in. They're trying to give them a chance and build a team there. But the players they brought in to replace Jota, essentially, Fabio Silva, he hasn't quite done the business, big money, and I think he'll become a good player. When I watch him, I think he's done all right. He tries really hard. He's just been a bit unlucky. Sometimes he does the hard bit. He takes on 2 defenders, then he just knocks it down the throat of the mouth of the goalkeeper to collect, kind of thing. And I just feel a bit sorry for him. He just needs a little bit of a run. The thing with Jimenez is that while it was a blow, I think they were struggling before that. I do think, I know he got injured very early on in the season, but even when you watched him before he got injured, I think there was just something quite right there. And I've always wondered if Nuno was a bit fed up of VAR. We speak about with Man City that sometimes Pep looks a bit frustrated with the VAR thing. I've always got that vibe with Nuno as well. I've always thought Nuno was a little bit not enjoying football as much, and he was one of the first managers to speak out about VAR as well, saying, you can't celebrate goals and stuff, and what is this? We're now zooming in and kind of thing. That's not football for him. And I always wondered if he would sort of leave Wolves, to be honest with you. I thought he might give up, but essentially, when you're a football manager, you've just got to accept things like VAR, because you can't go to another country and just ignore it. It's getting rolled out. Your profession now is a football manager. You just have to put up with VAR ultimately. But I've been disappointed with them this season, because I was very impressed last season. I think the summer transfer window on paper, the recruitment looked exciting. Semedo, even Marçal came in for 2 million from Lyon, and we've seen Lyon do well in Champions League in that mini tournament, beating Man City. Marçal played really well. You thought, wow, that's a superb signing for 2 million. He's just not quite done it. Al-Nouri has his bright spell, but just not quite done it. And that summarises Wolves' season for me. Not quite good enough. Do you expect more from them next season? Is the foundation there for them to go on and have what we would consider a big season?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think they're going backwards, not at all. There's been lots of excuses for this, and I mean, proper mitigation. There've been lots of good reasons why they've not done as well this season. I don't think it's a club in decline. I don't think it's a terminal problem, and I do expect them to be decent. They'll be one of the better clubs next season.
I just hope that while I think the recruitment's been lukewarm at best, I just hope that doesn't put them off continuing to do what they're doing in terms of investments, because I like what they're doing. I just hope we don't see them going for more seasoned and sort of ready-made stars. It's possibly what they need. They probably need one or two of their, like Moutinho has been a massive part of Wolves, and they brought him at the sort of the end of his career kind of thing. You always need one or two players like that. But I just hope that they stick with these sort of gambles, if you like. I'm fed up of seeing clubs buy in, 27, 28, 29-year-olds and sort of not give the youngsters a chance. Nuno's trying his best to give the likes of Silva an opportunity in the side, and Neto. I mean, well, let's talk about players like that then. Players you admire from Wolves, take your pick.
I like Bolly. Always say that. Always liked him. He's really good. Traore, I always talk about. I know he's not been that great this season, but I've liked him everywhere. Liked him at Villa. Liked him at Middlesbrough, as you know. I'd love him at West Ham. That's a really exciting player. I've been really impressed with Podence. Whenever I've seen him, I think he looks absolutely fantastic. Now, I understand he's been injured a little bit, so you haven't got to see the best of it. And I'm pretty sure, from looking at the way he plays, very bright, very skillful, very fast, I'm pretty sure that was the cover for Jota. That was probably what Nuno intended on doing, was to put him in there. But I do think he's a very, very good player as well. Just Semedo as well, that's what I wanted to talk about. I remember us doing a build-up for the first game where we thrashed them, and I was really fearful of Semedo, because he is, I was going to say he's been a very good player, he remains a very good player, but it just didn't seem to happen for him. And there is a good player in there, and I don't think that Wolves have seen the best of him, certainly. I
think Neto has got potential to be world class. I do think he's got potential to be that good. Whenever I watch Wolves, I get excited watching Neto, and you forget he's 20 years old. And when you watch him, he runs the game, he's fast, he's skillful, he can shoot, he works hard off the ball as well. He's just got everything in his locker. I will be surprised, Gonzo, when we do this preview in 2 years' time, Nato's at Wolves. I'll be surprised. I think he'll be at a bigger club than Wolves. It might not be a Premier League one, he might go to La Liga or something, but I do think he will be playing in the Champions League. And they've got like the Declan Rice de facto now going on with the likes of Neto, that actually is probably getting too good for Wolves a little bit. So you cling on to him, but you've got to move fast as a club, otherwise you're going to lose him, kind of thing. But he'll go for tens of millions. I think he's just a superb talent. This season, I've been very impressed by Neves. In the last few previews we've done, I always say I think Moutinho's a better player, master and apprentice kind of thing. This is the first preview I'll say I think Neves is now better. Moutinho. I think Moutinho's gone backwards a little bit. His age is catching up with him, and I know his game's never been at pace or anything. But when I watch Wolves this season, not as influential as he used to be. Still a danger at set pieces with his cross and that, and still a classy player. But I think in the last month or two, I think Neves has been one of the better players in the Premier League to watch, actually. He covers a lot of ground, and last season I felt Neves almost faltered to deceive a little bit. It was hitting the match of the day highlights and stuff, but I felt his all-round game was perhaps lacking. But this season I think he's actually on match of the day less probably. He's not scoring the long rangers anymore, but his all-round game, I think he's really stepped it up in becoming what everybody saw. Whenever you watch him, you knew there was a top midfielder in there coming, and I just think he's now reaching that levels for them. Anyway, shall we talk about West Ham?
Yes, indeed.
Right, team news. Ogbonna is a no-no. He's sort of back in training. We might have him back for the next fixture, but for this one, he's a no-no. Yarmolenko is also a no-no. David Moyes says that while he come back in the reserve game, it's too soon for him. However, he was a little bit cautious with Masuaku. He obviously told us that he played in the reserve game and said that he's unsure if he's match fit, but we will have a look at him. Now, to me, that means Masuaku is available and Masuaku will be in the squad in some way. Obviously, Pablo Fornals is back as well. So, Gonzo, for the sake of the preview, hypothetically, if Masuaku was available, would you stick with the back four or would you be switching to a back three for this one?
Not just available, if he was fit and ready, right? So there's available and then there's coming on as 20 minutes as a sub. If he was fit and firing and match ready, I would go with a three at the back and go with wing backs for this one. I absolutely would. I actually think we've missed him. Funny enough, I think he was even more than David Moyes thought that he was ever going to be. I think he actually became quite integral to what Moyes wanted to do. But I don't believe he's fit. I don't believe that he's 90 minutes fit, and if he's not 90 minutes fit, there's no point in changing the system, so I'd keep it as it is.
Interesting. So your back four, I assume, is Soufal, Dawson, Diop and Creswell.
Yeah.
Your midfield are Souček and Rice, and what are you doing
Absolutely.
ahead of...
I'll go home.
And what are you doing ahead of them? Who's your other four players?
I will have a bit of Jarrod Bowen, Jesse Lingard, the Fornicator, and Mikel Antonio up front.
Snap! Mine's exactly the same. No Saeed Benrahma.
No, not for this one. I'd like the workhorses either side of Lingard. I think. Look, it's not that.
Oh, okay. Would you? So I would have Fornals in the centre again and Lingard on the right for this one.
Yeah. No, I would do that just because I think, regardless of what position they take them in, I think Lingard plus Bowen plus Antonio, with Fornals sort of pulling some strings and with Souček getting forward, is probably enough for us to get some goals and threaten a goal. In fact, it absolutely is. Antonio's been getting assists. Lingard's been getting goals. I'm not sure for this one we need the extra one. I don't want us to rest on our laurels. I don't want us to think, hold on, we thrashed them last time, it's going to be an easy game. I don't think it will be an easy game.
No, I don't think it will be either, but I'm quite optimistic for it. We'll get on to that in a second. But that team, I think... I would be surprised if that isn't Moyes' team as well, by the way. I think what we want to see, I think, is what we will see. If you were playing three at the back, though, and Masuaku was in the left wing-back position, how would you set up with the attacking side of the team? Because you're obviously going to have to take one of those players out.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, someone's stolen my pen. I was going to write it down, and the only pencil I've got has got no lead in it. It's a blunt, leadless pencil, which is quite profound at the moment, really. But...
it's like the Wolves attack without Jimenez, really, isn't it? It's a bit blunt.
It certainly is. In all honesty, Geo, I don't know. I just know that I would switch to that. I think you'd probably have to drop Bowen, realistically. I think out of that. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. 9 cup finals. Is that what we're
Yes,
at
indeed.
now? Is that the situation we're in now? 9 cup finals. Because international duty's been and gone. I miss watching West Ham actually, Gonzo. Like normally during international duty, I'm quite relieved. I'm like, woo, can switch off and that and watch Scott. Oh, it's no better for me. I usually go from defeats to defeats, but international duty, I don't mind international duty, so I quite like watching Scotland. But I have to admit, while I still have enjoyed watching Scotland, I have missed watching West Ham actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important that we pick up where we left off in terms of intensity, in terms of desire, and we haven't let it slip at all. There's the trouble with these breaks. Now, last time we had a break, we did all right afterwards. The 2 occasions before that, we didn't. It's an opportunity for clubs to get themselves together, and some some come back stronger, some come back weaker. There are going to be some clubs that come back stronger, but we have to make sure that we're one of those, Geo, because that's as important as anything. We have to keep intensity up. When I say intensity, it's not just the game. I just hope in the training ground, I'm sure he has, that Moyes will have kept it up and said, right, fellas, remember exactly where we are. Remember what we're doing. I hope he's telling them that it's 9 cup finals. To hear him speak about Europe would certainly indicate that he's got his finger on the pulse. He knows exactly what he wants to do, and he's delivering a message to them that they're going to take it seriously. We've got to start fast.
Yeah, I think the international break went well for us. I know we could have done with Souček getting more of a rest. He played a lot of minutes. Rice obviously got a game off, but he got 2 man of match awards. Soufal also played for Czech Republic. Ben Rama played well for Algeria as well. Fabianski I don't think Fabianski played actually, but he was there anyway. But I think the big one actually, believe it or not, is Jesse Lingard. It would have been not disappointing, it would have been understandable, but if Jesse Lingard went away on international duty but barely got on the pitch, it would have been understandable, but almost like a waste of time where Moyes could have done with him at Rush Green, and it was like, oh, okay. But actually, he got on and got a man of match award in the first game. Lingard's going to come back even more confident than he was. You can almost guarantee Southgate would have had a little talk with him as well and said to him, go back to West Ham, smash it like you've been doing, and you're in the squad for the Euros. There's reports today that Southgate's considering picking him ahead of Jack Grealish and stuff for the Euros, and I've got no doubt he is, because of the trust in Jesse. And I just think that when he first got called up, I think he deserved it, and it was a good thing. But part of you is like, oh, just don't get injured kind of thing, because we need you. But actually, he's coming back more confident and even more informed than he was when he went away. And Souček's coming back after a hat-trick. Rice has come back after 2 man of matches. I think it's been an excellent international break for us, actually. It's probably been a good one for Wolves as well. It's allowed them to hit the big reset button and try and get back into some sort of shape and form ahead of it. But the fact that we're playing on Monday really does give us a benefit. Yes. It's 5 days since the last round of international fixtures as well. And I'm glad we're playing then and not Saturday today. I'm glad we're not playing on Saturday for this one. Are you confident?
Yeah, I am confident and looking forward to it. And I do think that's key, because it allows you to train that extra little bit. It's not just back, rest, game. You actually get back, rest, day of training, and then probably another rest, and then play. And I think that's really important. Yeah, I am quite confident for this one as well, because I do think intensity is going to play a massive part. Realistically, what can Wolves achieve this season in the league? Not an awful lot. So you'd have to hope that our desire is greater than theirs for this one.
Yeah, I'm quite confident as well. I remember when we played Wolves earlier on the season, Mikel Antonio ran Connor Cody wild. He dragged him all over the pitch as well, and that gives me a little bit of hope. That gives me a lot of hope for this one, actually. And the way that Wolves play, I know they've been switching between a back 3 and a back 4 this season, but I think that's due to the lack of Johnny. That usually gets someone pregnant, but I think that's
true. That's why, never a good thing.
That's why
if you've been affected by such issues, there'll be a link below.
That's why I think they've been switching to back 4, because Al-Nouri, Marsal, whoever's been put in that position at left wing back hasn't really cut it for them. But now he's back, I think we'll see them with a more familiar formation between now and the end of the season of the 3-4-3 kind of thing. That's good for us, because I think our weakness, or where we got found out on occasions this season by Arsenal, lastly, is that middle of the pitch in between our defence and midfield, where Lacazette's dropping in, Odegaard was going there. I thought Harry Kane did it really well against us as well. That bit in there can be crucial to us. I just don't think Wolves, with the 3-4-3 formation, I don't think they really exploit that area, because Neves and Moutinho have got their hands full with Lingard, Fornals and Souček and Rice, so they're not going to outnumber us in the middle, and that's where teams can cause us harm. I think coming down the middle against us is where we struggle a little bit. So I'm quite even more optimistic should Wolves play that 3 at the back formation. But 9 cup finals, you still believe in? You still believe we're going to get European football?
I think it's am I believing? I don't know about that, but it's a massive possibility. Every time I do the old calculator, it works out that we do. So I think it's on. I don't even think I'm overly generous to West Ham either. So I think it's on. It is game on. You don't know what's going to happen with the cups. If it goes down to 6th place as well, European football, we're in with a right old chance here. There's no doubt about it.
Is this a massive game? Because obviously around the corner we've got Leicester and Chelsea, Newcastle as well. And that 4 games, the month of April, that's the 4 games. How much points do you think we need? Wolves, Newcastle, Chelsea and Leicester.
Well, if we get 9, we're in it. If we get 9, we are in. We are in. And but by the way, I mean, I don't know. If you get 8, you get 7, whatever. You still, what we don't want to get is 3. Then we're out. We are out. But we get 9. It's not only Europe. We get 9 out of those. We're banging on the door for top 4 at that point.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think 6, 7 is Europa League stuff. I think 9 would be Champions League stuff. Providing, obviously 9 points, one of the wins would come against them. But if we only got 7, I think one of the wins would probably need to be against Chelsea or Leicester.
Yes.
Which would mean that you've obviously failed to beat Wolves or Newcastle in there as well. But I think it's important that we take points on them, but we need to start against Wolves. After not winning against Wolves would seriously increase the pressure for the Chelsea and Leicester games, and that's something we could really do without. We could do with going into those games knowing that a point's enough. Actually, a point is a good result here. And if we fail to beat Wolves, I actually don't think a point's enough in those games. I think the pressure's on to win one of them. So I think this game kickstart the run of fixtures we've got coming up. But I'm feeling good, and we've got that slight advantage of seeing all the other teams go first over the weekend. Actually, they all sort of mess up a little bit here and there. Actually, this win could become huge. Can I get your final words if you've got any, followed by your score prediction, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we've got to defend well. Diop's got to have a good game in this one because we're about Ogbonna again. I want to see Dawson getting back, up to speed and up to the standard that he certainly was before. Let's hope that Soufal has an absolutely blinding game, and it's really important. But intensity, Geo, we've got to have intensity, and we've got to carry the ball well. I think if we do that, then we've got a really good chance. I think we might win comfortably at 2-0, actually.
I was going to go for 2-0 as well, actually. I think Wolves are just a bit toothless in attack. They're missing Jimenez, and like I said, Fabio Silva looks like he's got something about him. Willian Ozil has come in January, still yet to get a goal. He looks okay, but neither of them are scoring. They don't have a goal scorer. Traore's got no goals and no assists this season. Nato's the biggest danger. I think he's just a wonderful talent, but I like that. It's a bit dangerous, but it's a bit like the Jack Grealish thing at Villa. If you stop Jack Grealish, you really do stop Villa, and we discovered that ourselves. We stopped Jack Grealish and we've done alright. I think against Wolves, you stop Nato, I think you'll do alright, kind of thing. I think you'll be okay. You can keep him quiet. You're nullifying their biggest threat by far. I don't know if Patricio's playing either. He also had that nasty injury just before the international break. I believe he's supposed to be okay, but they might not have they might have Ruddy in goal as well, which would help us out. So I'm feeling good. I think we've just got a better team than them. I think we're better form. We've got goal scorers, which is what they're lacking. I'm going to go West Ham 2, Wolves 0 as well, Gonzo. Anyway, it's a 8:15 kickoff, which means at 7:10 on Monday night we will be live on this channel with our build-up show, followed by our watch-along, followed by our review. And if you're a patron, of course, Monday morning you get our breakfast show, followed by the player ratings immediately after the full time. You want to know more about becoming a patron? Either go back to the start of the video and watch that bit all over again, or go to patreon.com/HammersChat. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to you, and Gonzo, I'll see you on Monday night.
See you then.
Take care.